I get it. We all wake up every day with that tug-of-war inside us. One part wants to do the right thing, to grow, to become better. The other part just wants what's easy right now. Comfort, distraction, shortcuts. And here's the truth, nobody really says out loud. Both sides are always hungry. The question isn't whether you have that struggle. The question is which one you're feeding a little more each day. You know what's wild? Most of us were taught to chase happiness like it's the finish line. We tell ourselves, if I get the job, then I'll be happy. If I make more money, then I'll finally feel good. If people recognize my work, if I win, if I succeed, then everything will fall into place. But happiness works on an if-then deal. If this happens, then I feel good. And the problem with that is simple. The moment you reach it, the bar moves. You win, onse. Now you need to win bigger. You succeed. Now success has a new definition. That kind of happiness is exhausting because it depends on outcomes you can't fully control. And here's the part nobody expects. If happiness is all you're chasing, you're going to feel disappointed more often than you'd like to admit. Not because you're failing, but because happiness demands a specific result, and life doesn't always cooperate. But joy is different. Joy doesn't wait at the finish line. Joy shows up in the middle of the work. It's not a reaction to applause or numbers or approval. It's a steady feeling that comes from doing what you're meant to do, regardless of how it turns out. And that changes everything. I've seen this play out in real life. People start enjoying their work more, and oddly enough, they start doing better when they stop treating every day like a transaction. When the daily grind stops being a means to an end and starts becoming the reward itself. When the work becomes the point, not the recognition, not the validation. Just the doing. And this might surprise you. When you shift like that, when you fall in love with the process, results often improve anyway. Not because you're chasing them harder, but because you're more present, more focused, more honest with yourself. Joy lives in motion. It's alive in effort. It's built while you're still under construction. One of the simplest ways to understand success is through gratitude, not the fake, forced kind. Real gratitude, paying attention to what's already working, being thankful for the things you usually rush past. Your health today, the chance to try again, the skills you already have. When you acknowledge those things, something strange happens. Gratitude tends to multiply. You start noticing more things worth appreciating, and that mindset creates momentum. Now, that doesn't mean pretending failures don't exist. That's not helpful. We learn from them, but only if we look at them honestly. Not as proof that we're broken, but as information. What am I good at? What can I improve? What actually worked, even a little? Life isn't a noun. It's a verb. It's something we're constantly doing. We try our best. Sometimes we fall short. That's part of the deal. But since we're the architects of our own lives, it's worth studying the habits and routines that shape our days. The small choices that feed our growth, our joy, our pain, our laughter, even our earned tears. When we pay attention to those patterns, we get better at them, and then we have more progress to build on. We live in a world that loves shortcuts. 15 minutes of fame, overnight success, get-rich-quick promises that look shiny but rarely last. And still, we all want to succeed. Of course, with though. So the real question becomes, what does success actually mean to you? For some people, it's money, and that's okay. For others, it's a healthy family, a strong relationship, or peace of mind. Maybe it's helping others. Maybe it's creating something meaningful. Maybe it's leaving the world a little better than you found it. Keep asking yourself that question, and don't be surprised if the answer changes over time. That's growth. But here's an important line you don't want to cross. Don't choose a version of success that costs you who you are. Prioritize your character. Protect it. Don't pour your time and energy into people, places, or habits that slowly chip away at it. Some things look sweet in the moment, but they come with a price later. Life isn't a popularity contest. It takes courage to choose your own path, to climb your own hill, And before you charge forward, it helps to know what that hill actually is for you. For some, success is measured across a few key areas. Being present for family, taking care of your mind and body, doing meaningful work, maintaining real friendships. When you neglect any one of those for too long, it starts to weaken. And eventually, something breaks. Maintenance matters. Daily check-ins matter. You have to tend the garden if you want it to stay alive. Sometimes the fastest way to figure out who you are is to clearly identify who you're not. Think about it. That group of friends that pulls you into drama. The places you keep going that leave you drained the next day. The habits that feel good for a moment, but cost you energy, health, or focus afterward. The endless screen time that keeps you isolated instead of connected. Those people, places, and patterns take more than they give. So put them down. Walk away. When you stop giving them your time, something interesting happens. You accidentally create space for better things. Healthier environments, more meaningful connections, more joy. Not because you forced it, but because you removed what didn't belong. Too many options can actually trap us. When everything is available, nothing feels meaningful. Reducing the noise clarifies what matters. Through elimination, you start to see your priorities more clearly, and give yourself a break in this process. Knowing who you are isn't easy. It takes time. Start by letting go of who you're not, and you'll move closer to where you need to be. There's another piece that really matters here. The promises you make to yourself, not the ones enforced by rules or rewards. The quiet ones, the personal standards you live by when no one is watching. Nobody throws a party when you keep them. Nobody arrests you when you break them either. But you know, and that awareness follows you. Peace of mind comes from integrity. From knowing you honored your own word. At the end of the day, no matter who's around you, you live with yourself. That's the relationship you can't escape. We do our best work when our goals stretch beyond easy measurements, when the finish line keeps moving, when the journey doesn't really end, when you're always becoming, always learning, always on the way. So do the work. Show up. Feed the better side of yourself a little more today. Let the results speak for themselves later. Let someone else tap you on the shoulder and tell you that you won, that you mattered, that you made a difference. Play the long game. Stay curious, stay humble, and always move forward like an underdog who refuses to quit. If this message hit you, comment iron below. This channel isn't for everyone, only for those who choose discipline over comfort. Subscribe if you re one of Tim. I'll see you at the top.